Hello everyone, this is Mike. Welcome to my channel, Mike the Tech Savvy. This is going to be a fairly concise video comparison between the newly released Samsung Galaxy S21 5G and the Google Pixel 4a. I do know that this is a mid-range device and this is a fully fledged flagship. I can compare two worlds here. This is a device that it's gonna be very popular and one of the top sellers in the Android realm. And this is a device which I like quite a lot and which is kind of in a niche market because of its availability and because of the fact that Google doesn't advertise its products so aggressively, just like Samsung or Apple or other top manufacturers. Google definitely isn't one of them. I'll start off with the prices. This is 350 euros, this one 850. So just take into account that the price of the S21 vanilla, so this is the entry level S21, is 2 times the price of the Pixel 4a, and you also have 150 euros extra. Yeah, it's very expensive compared to this one. Now let's see what it brings for this kind of money. Well, it brings a plastic back, which is exactly what the Pixel 4a has. And this is where the similarities end in the body department. You do have a very nice aluminum frame here, Gorilla Glass Victus on the front. With a Pixel 4a you have a fully plastic construction, which is definitely not on par with what you get on the S21, but it's very durable. Believe me, I dropped this phone quite a lot of times, not a single mark on it. The buttons are plastic as well. Of course, with the S21 you get metal buttons, aluminum buttons, which are definitely much more high-end. The front glass is probably more scratch resistant, but as Jerry Rig Everything would say, they both scratch at level 6 with deeper grooves at level 7. You do have some durability in drop tests, probably in shatter resistance, but other than that they are more or less similar as far as the front glass goes. The displays, you have a 1080p panel here, 1080p panel here, but of course the Samsung panel is superior. You do have 120 Hz, which translates into a very smooth experience. With the Pixel you only get a 60 Hz display. HDR10 Plus, a higher peak brightness. It's definitely a better display overall on the S21, and this is somehow justified. Remember the price difference. As far as the chipset goes, in the Pixel 4a you get a mid-range Snapdragon processor, whilst in the Samsung Galaxy S21 you get the Exynos 2100, at least in Europe where I live. In the US you would get a top-tier 5G chipset from Snapdragon, the 888, with significant differences in benchmark results and in overall gaming performance if you like to game with your devices. And this brings us to another difference. This has 5G, this one doesn't. Of course there's a Pixel 4a 5G version. That phone is bigger and hence the reason why I like this one more. You can definitely see that the Pixel 4a is more compact. I've lined them up here up on top. You can definitely see that it's smaller. It may have bigger bezels, but overall it's a more compact device, slimmer, and definitely much more comfortable to use one-handed. As far as the memory goes, you do have 8 GB here, 6 GB of RAM on the Pixel 4a. Storage is the same, 128 and 128 GB. The S21 also has a variant for 256, and you do have faster memory on this one. You have UFS 3.1. In case of Pixel 4a, if I'm not mistaken, you only have UFS 2.1, so it's definitely a slower internal memory. As far as the OS goes, you can definitely see Android 11 on both, but the Pixel trumps the Galaxy device in this scenario because you definitely get faster updates here. So if faster updates is your thing, this is the device to go for. But of course, Samsung has the One UI. It has a lot of extra features that a box standard Google ROM will never have. If you like these additional features, One UI is definitely the better choice for you. As far as the rear cameras go, it's a win for the Samsung Galaxy S21, even though the software algorithms that Google is using turn this 12 megapixel sensor, single 12 megapixel sensor, into a pretty powerful performer, even in zoom situations. But of course, this can never replace a telephoto lens, so let's call it a win for the S21. Front cameras are more or less the same. I'm not really interested in them, so I cannot really comment. Video capture 8K 24 versus only 4K in the case of Pixel 4a. Batteries, this one has a 3100 mAh battery. This one has a 4000 mAh. Honestly, with the debloated ROM on the Pixel 4a you can get excellent battery life, but I believe you can get a very similar result with the S21, given that it's about 20 to 30% higher capacity wise. And now in the miscellaneous departments, well, I can definitely tell you that the fingerprint scanner on the back, in case of the Pixel 4a, is definitely faster than what you get with the, that's right around here, in the Samsung Galaxy S21. What I like about the Pixel 4a is that they give you a headphone jack, which is nice, incredibly nice I might call it. Of course you don't get one in the S21. None of them have micro SD expandability. This is definitely one of the cons for the S21 mostly, because the Pixel lineup never really had it, but this is the first Samsung device that doesn't feature a micro SD card slot, and it's quite surprising that they've chosen this path. Well, you cannot really compare these two devices because we're really comparing apples to oranges here. I'm not saying that oranges are cheaper than apples, but in this case the Pixel 4a is definitely much cheaper than the S21. It's not really a correct comparison, but I try to be as objective as possible and to bring arguments for both devices. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please press the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more similar videos in the future, also press the subscribe button, which will be displayed right here in the bottom left part. In the video description, you can check out all my videos on the Samsung Galaxy S21. There you'll also find the links to my social media and to my Patreon account. This was Mike the Tech Savvy. Thank you so much once again. Wish you a great day. Stay safe, guys. Bye.